Is it rude to ask what's the most you've been paid for like one post, let's say?
So are you curious about like one video or like maybe the biggest brand deal package I've been asked for?
Yeah, probably the biggest package. That's pretty lit. 2.5 years in the game.
Yeah.
Getting a deal is,
Yeah.
and what was that, like over 3 months or something?
Yeah, that one was like a 3-month long sponsorship.
That's tight.
Well, all right. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin.
Welcome back to the Party with Strategy podcast. Very special episode. Sometimes I'm, sitting around and scrolling on Instagram and I feel like just shooting my shot and sending messages to random people, and this young woman responded and she showed up and we're glad to have her.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I've never been on a podcast before.
Beautiful. I'm excited to be your first.
Awesome. Well, I'd cheers you if I had a drink to cheers you with. I guess I could do the water, but...
They say it's bad luck, right?
Oh, is it?
They say it's bad luck to cheers with water.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Yeah, we'll start it off on a good foot. We got influencer extraordinaire here, Grace Andrews.
Thank you.
So just real quick, we'll start it off, get a little bit more information about you. Where are you from? How old are you? What's your favorite food? And what's your body count?
Last question, not it. But I'd say, okay, I'm from downtown Chicago. I grew up in Lakeshore East, and I'm 24 years old. My favorite food, definitely sushi. And
Really?
yeah, my name's Grace. That's a little bit about me.
So what's Lakeshore East? Is like what streets?
Lakeshore East, it's kind of Randolph in Michigan.
Okay.
But it's directly across from Maggie Daley Park. So I grew up on East Randolph. And yeah, my building looked over the park. And there's that little doggy park right behind. The St. Regis is right there. The Aqua building's right there.
Yeah. The Aqua building's sick.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know that I've ever known anybody that's grown up in a high rise in the city downtown like that.
Yeah. I lived on the 37th floor with my mom and my brothers.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you live over there, what high school do you go to?
I went to Francis Parker. It's in Lincoln Park, so it's a private school. It wasn't the neighborhood public school, but yeah, it was like a 10-minute drive from Lakeshore East.
Okay. I like that you got the classic Kanye West rugby polo on.
Oh.
It's real Chicago shit
Is
right
it?
there.
I didn't know Kanye's known for his rugby polos.
I feel like back in the day when he was first bubbling and like working with Pharrell, he was rocking those, and he had like the double polo with, they used to wear two of them, and you could see the second one on the inside coming through the neck.
Well, actually, this polo is from the brand Rowing Blazers. And it's actually one of the first things I was ever gifted from starting my influencing my senior year of college. Yeah.
Okay.
I love the brand. They kind of mix between streetwear and preppiness, kind of Ralph Lauren vibes, but they turn it into a really cool, like trendier prep brand, I
Okay.
guess. Yeah.
And you're still working with them, obviously?
Well, I get gifting from them sometimes. I'm friendly with the owner, Jack.
Nice.
And I went to their New York Fashion Week event actually this past September. And that was my first New York Fashion Week event ever too. So it was kind of like full circle from one of my first clothing giftings ever to then one of my first ever shows that I went to in New York.
Okay. So, and you're a full-time influencer. Mm-hmm. And you said you started senior year of college?
Yes.
Which
middle of my senior year.
So that make you going like what, 3 years now? Something
Like 2.5.
2.5?
Yeah. I started at USC.
How do you get into that game? I mean, are you just making content? You're sort of bubbling on the internet and then people start reaching out to you, brands and things?
Yeah, so I mean, everyone starts differently. The way I began was that I just followed influencers forever online. I think my favorite was Ella Rose, actually, like years ago, but I always just kind of admired them and wanted to do exactly what they were doing. So middle of my senior year, around like late November, December, I ordered an iPhone tripod off of Amazon, and I took it and I would walk around campus at USC and find pretty places to take photos of my outfit. And at the time, I would use like a clicker so that I'd be standing like with a pretty backdrop, and I'd be like clicking with my phone to take photos of myself and my outfits, and I'd like change the position so I got like different angles. And at the time, I started completely unpaid, like not even any, I hadn't even been gifted anything yet, but I was just shooting and wearing clothing brands I genuinely really loved. Verge Girl was, I think, one of the first brands I ever wore. And yeah, I would tag them in my photos on Instagram, and they liked the photos I would take. And then they started to offer me gifted clothes, which I thought was the coolest thing ever, because I was getting free clothes from literally my favorite brands I used to spend hundreds of dollars on. And yeah, I just started posting gifted posts. Eventually, I started asking for like a little bit of money when I could, but I didn't have the confidence at the time to really be charging what I should have.
So did someone help you out with that? Do you have like a mentor in the influencer game?
Well, I'd say about a year into doing my influencing, that's when I got signed to my management. It's 28 Row. They're based in New York. And yeah, they help me negotiate all my brand deals now and help me start getting paid what I should be paid.
Okay, so now you got a company behind you doing the legwork.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
like
such
that.
a game changer. Like, I feel like I'm so busy now just like creating the content that I can't imagine if I had to continue to handle all of the communications and the invoicing and all of the unsexy things behind the scenes.
Yeah, so how does that work? If someone messages you on your Instagram, do they have a login as well and they just kind of handle it? Or do you have to like send them and they talk to you and you got to say it to them and you're like...
Well, okay, my management has absolutely no access to my personal Instagram. They can't log in or anything. Basically, how it usually happens is a brand will email me. I have a Gmail in my bio. A lot of people think that because I have that Gmail, I don't have an agency, which isn't true. So essentially, a brand will email me to that Gmail. I keep an eye on like the good ones that come in because there's a lot of spam, but I forward anything that seems good to my agency email. And from there, my manager will answer that email and will respond with my rates or whatever else the brand might ask for. And then they handle all the communications from there. I'm not even really allowed to go in and respond myself. Like, my manager, she takes care of all of it.
That's tight. Mm-hmm. Is it rude to ask what's the most you've been paid for like one post, let's say?
Well, so for brand deals come in different ways where like sometimes one brand deal can be made of, let's say, like three videos or maybe 6 videos posted over a 3-month period, a 2-month period, etc. So are you curious about like one video or like maybe the biggest brand deal package I've been asked for?
Yeah, probably the biggest package.
$12,000.
That's pretty lit. 2.5 years in the game.
Yeah.
Getting a $12K deal is...
Yeah.
And what was that, like over 3 months or something?
Yeah, that one was like a 3-month long sponsorship.
That's tight. Mm-hmm. And then so for that, you're getting $12K. How many different videos did you have to make?
I don't want to break it down too much because I don't want to be too exact, but my biggest at the moment was 12,000. Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm assuming like, because I had a Instagram that was popping at one point, got deleted a couple times. I was doing some not so lovable things on there. There was a lot of risque content.
Yeah.
And I would get people reaching out to me that just wanted me to take what they had and post it. Like, hey, I have this ad that I want you to post and I'll give you this much money. And I would be like, I don't want to just like post your ad on my page. Like, I don't want my page to just be like this weird looking advertising thing. I was like, I'll work with you and I'll create a video with your product or like, you know, I'll do something if you want to do something like that. But I found most people were like, no, we just want you to post our shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, okay, that's interesting because you're sort of describing what UGC is, and that means user generated content. So sometimes a brand will reach out to me because they don't want me to post on my own profile, but maybe they want me to make videos with their product that then they will post to their own profile. So it would be something that just lives on their page. I remember back like during the holidays, I worked with a specific alcohol brand that basically I was helping promote their hard seltzers. So I made like 4 different videos that were like kind of cute, short, that then lived on their page, and I never posted it to my own, and I still got paid.
That's tight.
Sometimes they'll even like take those videos and then run it as an ad. But, and that won't even live on their page. It's kind of just an ad that pops up as you're scrolling through your feed or clicking through stories.
So are you like a lot of days just kind of trying to come up with content to create for your own, to grow your brand in and of itself, like a reel that could pop off and get a bunch of views and bring you more followers and all that? Like, what's sort of your niche in that, you know, market? If you're waking up and you're like, all right, I'm gonna make a video today, like, you know, what's the basis of it for the most part?
So let's see. I would say that so I have a pretty broad niche. So I'm definitely lifestyle overall. I do everything from a bit of entertainment, fashion, food, things to do in Chicago, places to go out. And I have some series that continuously do well. So what helps is I don't always have to think of completely new ideas. I can kind of just continue on with that series. For example, going back to like my early days of like starting to influence in Chicago specifically, people loved the day in my life as a 22-year-old post-grad living in Chicago. And at the time I was working for Oracle in tech sales. And so people loved seeing the TikToks of like a young 20-something-year-old girl go into a big fancy office, you know, all corporate, and work there during the day, and then in the evenings go out and do something fun with friends. That was some of the content that first got me a lot of my first following in Chicago. But now I don't do that stuff as much because obviously I don't have a corporate job. But some videos that tend to do well for me really well for me now are my thrifting videos. People love like seeing me go to like random places and thrift. Like I took the train up to Winnetka like a couple weeks ago and like filmed myself going to like a small boutique there. Another series I just started is exploring different neighborhoods in Chicago and spending a full day in a different neighborhood. The first one I did was Pilsen. The second one I just filmed this past weekend was in Andersonville. And so I just spent the day, you know, trying a new coffee shop, exploring different boutiques, trying new cafes, going out to dinner at a local restaurant up there. So yeah, people love content like that, at least for me.
So when you're going and like, let's say you're going to Andersonville, you're going to go check out some coffee shops and whatnot. Are you going in there and letting them know what you're doing before?
No.
And you're just doing
For
your
this
thing?
series, no.
Okay.
Yeah. I do like a lot of restaurant collaborations where they know as soon as I walk in, like they know that I'm there for my social collaboration. But for this series in particular, no, I'm just going in and trying to have as authentic of an experience as I can in a different neighborhood.
That's tight. We got to get you out to Avondale. We need you to get the property value a little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's get it bubbling a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's make some money here.
Yeah, no, Avondale's on my list. I've got a whole list of places I need to hit this summer.
Hell yeah. No, honestly, I've been walking around a lot. They're doing construction on Milwaukee, which is kind of shitty, but like everything's pushing down Milwaukee slowly but surely. Like it's coming from Logan. It's coming all the way up to Belmont.
Yeah.
There's like some nice, you know, clothing boutiques at the tip of Belmont there. There's the Avondale bowling alley.
Vintage clothing boutiques?
You know, it looks like what would I compare it to? Like a streetwear type of looking spot. It's not streetwear brand, but it's like it's got a nice layout. There's not a ton of clothes in there. There's only like very select
That's cool
clothing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's getting good.
Yeah, I'll check it out when I finally hit Avondale.
Yeah, there's some tight coffee shops over here too.
Yeah.
You like coffee?
You know, I'm more of a matcha girl.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely more of a matcha girl. Although I love espresso martinis. That's where I get my coffee fix.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of alcohol, where you party a lot? You going out a lot?
Yeah, I love to go out. Let's see. I know right before we started filming, you were asking me where some of my favorite spots are in the city. Love Umo. A lot of my friends are investors in that place, and I love Herman, the owner. Shout out.
Let's go.
The cocktail lounge upstairs is really a vibe. That's kind of a watering hole type of place where if my friends and I don't know where to start our night, we might start at Umo. Soho is that kind of vibe too, where if we don't know where to go out, we'll probably be on like the 5th floor of Soho or upstairs. I like Kashmir a lot. I like a lot of West Loop spots like Lyra. Of course, I go to like Tao and Joy and Hubbard Inn too. So yeah.
Yeah. What, like, when you're thinking of fun, like party fun, like bottles, music, dance floor, nightclub, that sort of vibe, what's your favorite spot right now?
Probably Umo.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't believe you had never heard of Umo.
I need to go there.
You do.
Are they open on Thursdays?
Yeah, they are. And I think they even have live music on Thursdays.
Oh, live music.
Although I love Kashmir on Thursdays too. I know they
Kashmir.
have the live music on Thursdays. I feel like everyone's fighting for that Thursday night crowd.
Yo, Thursday's the toughest always because there is a crowd out, but it's a small crowd, and you gotta throw a good party to
You
get
might
everyone
see
in
me
there.
around, yeah.
Yeah, Kashmir goes hard. Shouts to Riz and Umberton and the boys over there. Chris was on the pod.
Yeah.
The farm is opening soon.
What's the farm?
Oh, see, I got something you don't know about.
I don't. I swear I don't know a lot of things about it till maybe I get like an email for like a little launch party or something.
Yeah, there's the people that own Goodnight John Boy, that whole restaurant company, the Forward Group. They're opening their country inspired spot, which is essentially like what Goodnight John Boy is to disco. This place is to country music.
Okay, cool.
So it's like a party spot, but it's a lot of country hits. They're mixing in like other fun stuff.
That's really cool.
But I think it's going to be a little bit more of like a crazy party dance floor kind of vibe.
Wait, I love that idea.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that when it debuts. Do you know when it's coming?
I think mid-July. I think like maybe in a month or so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to open where Fremont used to be. Did you ever go to Fremont?
Is Fremont on Hubbard?
Illinois, right next to
Illinois.
Hubbard.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely saw it. Yeah. I used to work at RPM Italian back in the day, and that's on Illinois.
Yeah. It's right. RPM Italian's above Underground, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's right across Dearborn.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, that'll be tight. So is there like an influencer community in Chicago that you're a part of? Do you guys all get together and go out like the influencer, like, Fantastic Four or something?
Well, that's funny you say that because yes, there's definitely an influencer community in Chicago, but I would say that the girls I tend to go out with are not influencers. I feel like I have my influencer friend group and my going out girlfriends. So my influencer girlfriends, honestly, I met a lot of them through DMs. Like, hey girl, would love to shoot some content together. Like, let's get coffee, let's get lunch, let's get dressed up and take pics. And then I met a lot of those girls also at events. I feel like influencer events happen quite a bit in Chicago. I normally go to at least like 2 or 3 a week. And yeah, those are awesome for networking and making new friends in the city. And then I'm actually like in a big like group chat currently of like 30 Chicago influencer girlies. It's obviously not everyone, but it has a lot of the people that like to be especially active in the community and like make new friends. So yeah, I've got those friends, and then I've got my going out friends that honestly I just met through mutual friends, usually out at bars or clubs. But yeah, those are my girlies I love to go out with on the weekends.
Nice. Now, how many OnlyFans agencies are in your DMs reaching out to you, trying to get you to join their squad?
There have been those are like completely ignored. I will not entertain any of that.
I got to imagine that they're trying hard though.
Like, I don't know. I just like, I feel like I even like just like block them. Like, I don't
Yeah?
know. That's so not me. Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of fading away these days.
Yeah.
There was one point where it was hot. Like,
Yeah.
I think my mom almost signed up.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. But that was like for a minute there during the pandemic, things were shut down. People were looking for a couple bucks. Like,
Yeah.
it was becoming the norm.
Yeah.
But now we're kind of getting back to regular life, and it's sort
Yeah.
of fading away a bit.
Yeah.
There's definitely some girls that are holding strong.
Yeah,
though.
no, for sure. Yeah, that's not for me, not my niche.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the Chicago scene for influencing, honestly, because it's not oversaturated like New York or LA are. And I feel like it's a lot easier to be a bigger fish in the pond of influencers out here, you know? There's just not as many of us. And so it's easier to be included and invited and like to literally come up in search results when brands are looking for, hey, like which Chicago influencer should we invite to our pop-up next week, you know? Like I love being included, especially when brands come to Chicago and they're like, we have this activation going on in Chicago for maybe a month or two. Like, who are some of the biggest names out there that we can have, you know, at our pop-up? And I feel like that's been really beneficial to me because I just market the hell out of myself as living in Chicago and making so much Chicago-oriented content. There are a lot of influencers that actually live in Chicago, but if you glance at their pages, you'll never know that they actually live in Chicago because maybe they just like film themselves eating or like, I don't know, they don't really talk about the city that they live in and maybe they don't like vlog like while out and about. But no, like I'm all about marketing Chicago as much as I can. And I think that comes from me growing up in the city and like being such a fan of it and truly like being in love with this city.
Yeah, this city is incredible. It's absolutely the best city in the country. There's no doubt about it. If you're ever thinking about going to Houston, I'll tell you right now, you don't have to go there. Just stay right here. This is it.
Well, I mean, I lived in LA for college, and so many people asked me after I moved out of there back to Chicago post-grad, oh, why didn't you stay in LA? Like, you know, influencing so big in LA. Like, why wouldn't you stay there? The weather's warm. It's LA. It's beautiful. But for me, like, I'm a city girl. Like, I don't even have a driver's license. I don't know how to drive a car. I love really urban places like Chicago and New York where I can walk everywhere I need to go.
Yes.
I can take public transportation just like how I took it here today. I took the Blue Line and the bus up here. I really don't mind public transportation at all. I love it. I Uber. I do everything besides drive a car.
Yeah, I was absolutely shocked when you told me you got on a bus to get here.
Yeah.
Which is impressive, to be honest. That's why I was like, you have to be from the actual city.
Yeah.
There's no way you're from Addison, move down to the city into River North, and all of a sudden you're hopping on a bus.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna. That's not happening.
No, I really don't mind it. I feel like really comfortable on public transit. Just like got to be a little aware of your surroundings, you know?
Yeah. You definitely. You got a gun in that purse or what?
You know, like my mom, I feel like has given me like different pepper sprays over the years to like keep in my purse. But the issue is that like these are so small, like they don't hold anything. So although I was taught to, like if I'm walking home from a bar at night, like do this with my keys, like stick them between my fingers like this, so that if someone comes up to me, I can just clock them.
Get them right in the eyeballs.
Fortunately, I've never had to do that, but knock on wood.
Good. That's good. The Party with Strategy podcast has a brand new sponsor. Make sure you guys go check out Rendezvous Limousine Services for any of your travel needs around the Midwest. It's the best you can get, top notch. Let's be honest, everyone's a little sick of buying Ubers, getting charged for Uber X's like they're black cars, and you know the market's just not what it used to be. You might as well go with your best bet, Rendezvous Limo Service. They got party buses, they got Sprinter vans, they got Escalades, they got Navigators. Only the best of the best. Make sure you check out Rendezvous Limousine. You can find them on Instagram at RNDZ Limo or their website, Rendezvous Limousine. If you're grammatically challenged like myself, Rendezvous is RENDEZVOUS. And we might as well do limousine as well. LIMOUSINE. Ousine. Rendezvous Limousine, best you can get anywhere you want to go in the Midwest. Airport pickups, drop-offs, party buses, just going to see a friend. Do it in style. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to the episode. Thank you guys for watching. Do you feel like as of recently, I mean, it's pretty clear to me for sure that the city is definitely a little bit more of a dangerous place than it used to be. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that?
So I live in River North, and I think River North has gotten a lot of attention for just random violence that's been going on. My mom will always send me like links to random news articles about different stabbings and shootings that have happened around. Fortunately, I haven't experienced any of it firsthand, knock on wood again, but no, I think it's really, the violence, in my opinion, is overhyped. But also, I'm fortunate enough to literally live in River North, you know, where that neighborhood isn't really known for the violence like other neighborhoods are in the city, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, thankfully you don't have any stories about it.
Yeah. Well, also, one thing to note too is I take a lot of pictures and film a lot of content in public where literally I'll be walking with my phone like this down the street, pointing my camera at me, kind of just talking to my camera, I kind of like zone out from the things around me just because that's how I'm able to communicate the best. And I know that definitely makes me more vulnerable for potentially a bad person to come up and take advantage of me. But like, I haven't had to deal with it yet, and the content pays off. Like, talking to the camera videos perform so much better than any voiceover video. I'm really trying to get away from voiceovers now, actually, because I am consistently seeing speaking to the camera always gets much higher engagement than anything else.
Really? What are some other good tips and tricks you got for upcoming influencers? What's going to tickle the algorithm?
Yeah, so I would say speaking to the camera, getting right into the video, like with your hook and not over explaining things at the beginning. I think I have a tendency to do that, which I'm trying to get away from. And I think sharing a unique perspective or story that only you can share. There are a lot of girls that, you know, their whole niche is fashion. Maybe they have like a really unique style or aesthetic that gets them their following. But I've found so many times that like if I share a really unique perspective or opinion, that is what will get my video on the For You page and start getting more followers and debates in the comments. I actually uploaded a TikTok about spilling the tea on what it's like to go to an elite Chicago private high school. And that video did really well. I think it got at least 1 million views. I haven't checked the metrics of it recently, but I thought that was like, and I shared like anecdotes from my time at this like tiny school that only had 80 kids per grade. So then there are even only so many kids that could even tell the stories about going to that school. And yeah, so that was the kind of video that tends to do well, is where you can share unique, authentic, genuine story times from your own life or opinions or anything like that.
Okay. Do you find that like maybe something that's a little bit more combative or like, you know, polarizing is going to help, right, in the comments?
Yeah, that can actually help too. One I posted recently too was, one thing about me is like when I walk out of the salon after getting my hair highlighted, I always leave with my hair wet, because I really just don't care to spend an extra $50 on a blow dry. At my salon, it's not included. It would literally cost tack on an extra $50 for a service I'm already paying like $230 for. So why would I why do I need to get my hair blown out if I'm not going anywhere? So I uploaded a video of myself walking out being like, does anyone else do this? I always leave the salon with wet hair. And then literally that video has blown up. There are like 2,000 comments on that video of all these like different hairstylists and people with different opinions, like going back and forth, and people being like, oh my God, you're being ripped off by your salon. But like it's feeding my engagement. So I mean, it's awesome. So that's like an example of one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you find yourself seeing other videos that are blowing up? You're on TikTok, you're seeing something, maybe someone in LA films a video that you're like, oh, I could do the Chicago version of this. Do you find yourself doing that often? Like, this video is doing really well, I could do that. It's clear that people like this type of video.
Yeah. Well, honestly, back when I was just starting to make Chicago content, I got a lot of inspiration from some of the influencers that were already here at the time for my videos. Like, shout out Lucia Cordaro and shout out this other girl named Madeline Edwards. She doesn't live in Chicago anymore, but like, I love their vlogs of, you know, day in my life living in Chicago as a blank year old. And that was kind of what got that series going for me as well. But I mean, no one has the exact same life. So that's how I'm able to put my own twist on it, basically. But yeah, I mean, thinking back, speaking of getting inspiration from, you know, different trends or media, whatever. That's how I did my roommate video. Legally Blonde is my favorite movie.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you got the reference. I don't know if for the men that watched that video, I don't know how many of them have watched Legally Blonde, but I was inspired by Elle Woods' Harvard admissions video to then make my version of that for finding a roommate.
Yeah, I know about the bend and snap.
Yeah.
Don't think that I don't know about these things.
Yeah.
I honestly, I didn't put that together though. I didn't realize that was a play off Legally Blonde. But yeah, I watched that. I mean, I think you came up on like my For You page or something, and then I realized you were in Chicago, and I was like, just sitting on my couch, and I'm like, I'm gonna see if this girl wants to do the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking into the camera. You obviously have personality.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just, you know, it'd be great. And then I watched that video, and I think I showed my girlfriend. I was like, have you ever seen anybody looking for a roommate like on their reels? Like, that's insane to me.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anyone do that either, to be honest. I think posting in one of those Facebook groups is so not my style, so not my personality. My current roommate, I honestly would live with her again, but she's moving to Michigan with her boyfriend at the end of July. So I have an amazing deal on my current place in River North. So I was like, this place is too good to leave. I just need to find someone to come in and replace. And a lot of my friends live alone. They don't really want to live with the roommates. So that's what my mind immediately goes to content. Honestly, like, I constantly in my life, like, I kind of like see things in public and I'm like, oh, like, that's something I could make a video of. Or like when different situations or issues come up for me, my mind always goes to how can I make a video out of that? How can I, you know, post about that? What would be an engaging way for me to post about that online? I mean, it is my full-time job now. So, but it's also my passion to my full-time job, which I love.
Yeah, I can relate to that. You know, a lot of times things will happen and I'll be like, I got to talk about that on the pod or, you know, whatever it is.
Right.
In the DJ world, there's kind of this like entrance that's a little rocky sometimes. There's a lot of people that sort of, in nightlife especially, you know, like you go from being a security guard or something and you see DJs and you're like, I like music. I think I can do that. And then you sort of like become a DJ. You delete all your old pictures off your Instagram and you change it to your DJ name. No, this is not what I did. But this is pretty common. We see this often. People trying to get into the game and they're just sort of like, I mean, what stops you from being a DJ? There's nothing, right? You get some music, you get the shit,
gosh,
you become, you just say that you're you're DJ, whatever, and then that's you now.
Yeah. So,
but then there comes a point in the DJ community where people see this and they're like, well, you kind of got to prove yourself. You know, you can't just like you're not just accepted with open arms.
Yeah.
And I say this to try and relate it to like the influencing game. Like, what do you have to really have to be an influencer? Because anybody can call themselves an influencer. Is there like a particular amount of followers that you need? Is there a certain amount of time spent in this world? Like when someone tries to enter the game and you already established influencers see this, what is it that really makes you accept them? What is the turning point to just a pedestrian that calls himself an influencer to someone who's like actually getting into the game?
Yeah. Okay, well, I get that question a lot. Basically, how do I start influencing? Grace, how did you start posting? Honestly, you just start posting. That's what you do. I think you figure out what content inspires you or excites you the most, what you're most passionate about. and literally just start posting. I know it can be really intimidating because you think back to all your friends from high school and college, and then all the group chats of people talking about you and sending your video in the group chat. Oh, look what she posted, so cringe. But you literally just have to like get over that mental block, get over that obstacle, and not care. Not caring about what other people think in that sense is the key thing. Like you cannot be afraid to be cringe. I mean, sometimes I still feel that fear sometimes, but at the same time, like I just get over it. I felt like, oh, are people gonna think I'm like a weirdo posting this Legally Blonde video? But then I just decided, you know what? This is so authentically me. This is so genuinely me. I had so much fun making this video. And so if you can get that kind of like passion behind a piece of content you make, just post it, because then how like embarrassed can you really be if, you know, you're just being your genuine, authentic self?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess going back to like, okay, what makes someone an influencer? It's not about the followers.
Yeah.
You know, someone with just like a few thousand followers can be making a lot more money than someone with like hundreds of thousands of followers, you know?
How so? What's the difference there?
There are a lot of people that have hundreds of thousands of followers, but they might not be like brand friendly, or their content isn't something that brands can easily integrate themselves into. Meanwhile, an influencer with like a few thousand followers can have really high quality, gorgeous content that brands see and they're like, hey, like I want this girl to like make a UGC video for us, or I just want this girl to post on our feed for us because we just love her style so much. She fits our identity, you know? So yeah, it's all about, you know, being like, if you want to make your money from brand deals, there are a lot of ways you can make money from influencing. You know, some of the people I'm saying that are, you know, they're not brand friendly, they might be making money through other ways. Like, you know, they might have a podcast. They might make a lot from like the TikTok Creator Fund. They might, let's see what else. They might make money from an Amazon storefront. I don't know, stuff like that. Meanwhile, you know, maybe people with smaller followings, but really high quality brand friendly content. Yeah, they make bank from the brand deals. I tend to make money from brand deals.
That's where most of your income comes from?
Yeah, like pretty much 100% of my income is brand deals. Maybe like, okay, maybe 90% is brand deals. And then like the next 10% is like the TikTok Creator Fund.
Yeah. What's up with that? Is that like if your video does millions and millions of views, like the more views your video is getting, the more money you're getting from that? Is that how that works?
So yes, so there are factors for a video to qualify for a TikTok's Creator Fund. It has to be over a minute long. It has to use original audio. So you cannot put music in the video. It literally has to be just straight or unique audio from your video. And yeah, that's it. It has to be over a minute long. It can't be a sponsored post, and it has to use original audio. And so basically, if your video qualifies for that, then TikTok will start paying you. Usually it's about $1.20 for every 1,000 views that video gets. So actually, back when I got laid off in February, I was laid off from my full-time job in software sales.
Is it because you were in there filming content and they didn't like it?
No, I got laid off from a tiny startup. I worked for Oracle NetSuite for a year. Then I switched to this tiny startup because it was fully remote and they were paying me significantly more my base salary than Oracle was, and it was fully remote. So, you know, I was all over that. But when I got laid off this past February, my mind went to content. I saw that calendar invite come up for the next day with the CEO and COO of my company. I knew this couldn't be good. And so right before the meeting, I propped my phone up and I talked to the camera and I go, hey, yeah, I just got a random calendar invite from the CEO and COO of my company. I have no idea what this could be about. I'm assuming it's probably a layoff. I don't know, but we'll see. And so I recorded the call where I got laid off. Then I went back, and because of privacy issues and stuff, I didn't want to like play around with that. So I sped up through the parts where they're actually explaining me why they're laying me off. And I still got the video to be over a minute long. I posted it, And that video went viral. I think it has like around 4 million views now or something like that. And I ended up being paid around, it was like around $3,000, maybe $3,500 for that video of me getting laid off.
Not
Yeah.
too shabby of a what are those packages called when you get laid off?
Severance package.
Furlough, yeah, severance
Yeah.
package. Not too bad.
Yeah. So you can make a lot of money from, videos that go really viral in the Creator Fund, but that's such a gamble. It's hard to the For You page can be hard to predict what videos will pop off and which won't.
Yeah. What's your favorite platform?
My favorite platform, TikTok,
Yeah.
for sure.
Why is
Because
that?
I feel like my TikTok, I've grown it more. My followers I feel like my followers there have followed me more through a journey than my Instagram has. My Instagram is actually my personal that like I've had forever. I never went back and deleted my non-influencer photos, but I feel like on TikTok, people have always followed me for me. I've always, been posting myself talking to the camera or voiceovers or showing clips and bits and pieces from my life. On Instagram, it's like I'll get a follower just because someone finds me attractive. Whereas on TikTok, I'll get way more followers for my personality. And that's what's more important, That's how you really gain a community and people who love you. They have to love you for your personality. I don't care about like people following me for any other like, superficial, like whatever hot girl reason. Like I want people to follow me for me and my personality. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and that's how you build an actual fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a friend who has a t-shirt printing, not just t-shirts, but all sorts of merchandise printing business, and he worked with a lot of influencers to sell merch for them, and he told me that there's people with millions and millions and millions of followers who couldn't sell 10 t-shirts.
Yeah.
And it's because they're just this,
Like I told
this
you.
entity on the internet that nobody
Yeah.
has a real personal connection to.
Yeah.
Who's not, you're not going to buy a t-shirt of just like some funny guy that
Yeah.
makes these weird funny videos, but somebody who you like watch and love and feel connected to.
Yeah.
Those are the types of people who you want to buy their stuff.
That's like Alex Earl. She blew up on TikTok. TikTok is where all of the biggest stars, in my opinion, are being discovered. It's not even Instagram Reels. In fact, I think Instagram Reels has one of the worst algorithms ever, because whenever something goes viral on Instagram Reels, so often it goes viral among bitter men who just...
Whoa.
No, listen.
I'm kidding.
Bitter men that are like trolling in the comments, just saying negative things. That's what I mean. Whereas on TikTok, like, I feel like when my video goes viral, more often than not, it's hitting the right audience. It's hitting other, 18 to 24-year-old women or 25 to 30. Those are like the age groups that, the platform tends to follow. So I like women following me. I try and like avoid content that's going to get more men to follow me.
Okay. All right. I mean, we got some value too. I'm just saying.
You do, but brands ask for your gender breakdown. So if a brand, not every brand, but some brands really care about your gender ratio of your followers. Like there are some that are like, all right, we want someone we work with to have at least 75% women followers. And if you don't have that, then they might not want to work with you. I actually tend to have more of a gender neutral following. I tend to be a little bit more split on both. And I think that just comes with being a more overall lifestyle creator. I don't post like the super girly aesthetic content that many other influencers do.
A brand that's looking for a 75% female following, I got to imagine is some sort of female clothing brand or a female-based brand, right? Like would be their target audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you can miss that. But also I think like alcohol companies tend to not like care as much about gender like ratios. Other like consumer products good companies tend to not care as much. Other brands just care more about overall engagement.
Is there any company that you wouldn't work with? Any type of company?
For sure. I would never work with like any kind of vape company. I've never been addicted to nicotine. Like I don't vape. I also have asthma. Like I could never like do it even if I wanted to.
But even if they were giving you a ton of money and you didn't have to smoke the vape, maybe you just had to hold it in your hand and, you know, do a bend and snap because you love Legally Blonde.
No.
You still wouldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't do it unless I could like put a spin on it. Like, don't buy this. Like,
well, I don't know that they don't want that.
Yeah, but no, I wouldn't do that.
How about a cigarette company?
No.
Telling you not to buy vapes?
No, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, no. But yeah, definitely like stuff like that. Like, absolutely not. I think some of my favorite brands to work with are always the ones that want me to integrate their products into my content in the most organic way, where I don't really have to read like a specific script associated with that product. I don't have any issue with like talking points. Like, I don't know, like maybe these shoes are cute and trendy and they want me to say that, but like, I don't like giving... I don't like having to read like whole sentences that didn't come out of my mouth. It's like the brand feeding me that script that feels really authentic, and that content never performs well. Yeah. Yeah,
that makes sense. What was I going to ask? I had a great question. I had a phenomenal question. It was just absolutely fantastic. I'll think of it again. But you were on a boat this past weekend, right? I saw that.
Yes, I was.
How was that?
So much fun.
You love the playpen or what?
I love the playpen. Did you see my video? I'm looking for a man in the playpen.
No, did you remix that like Man in Finance?
I'm looking for a Man in Finance song. Yeah, I was just like out and about one day and it like, that was, okay, you asked me earlier, like, do I ever get inspiration from different trends or things going on in different cities? Well, for me, I got inspiration from that song, I'm Looking for a Man in Finance. Yeah. I was thinking like, how could I make this like a Chicago song? How could I make this like rhythm, like a Chicago, anthem? And so, being a Chicago girl, I'm always looking for a man in the playpen. I'm looking for that boat for the summer. So I made a tune of it. Yeah, I'm looking for a man in the playpen. Big boat, dark tan, big bucks. And yeah, that video did do well. And it might have led to a few of my boat invites for this summer so far.
Did you find a couple guys in the playpen? I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, I always accept a boat invite if it comes my way and you don't seem too scary.
Yeah, you gotta do a couple checks on these guys with their boats. Get a little crazy
for
out
sure.
there.
But yeah, the boat I went on this past weekend was with Chicago Sailboat Charters. Nice. Yeah, I know there are quite a few different boat chartering companies that work with different influencers in the city, and they'll give you a comp charter. You still have to tip the captain, but yeah, they'll give you a comped charter for the evening or day whenever you want.
So I'm not sure how that particular scene works, but in the nightlife scene, there's a lot of guys who have boats, and then they get the promoters to bring a bunch of their girls. So there's like a lot of times different groups of girls, right? There's maybe like a group of girls that know each other, and then another group of girls that know each other, and everyone's coming together. So I was just going to ask if maybe you had any fun stories of anybody getting a little crazy. Maybe they weren't like part of your group, but they were on your boat and you were friendly and maybe saw some fun, wild activities. Because women they act, not all of them, but a lot of them act a little more wildly on the water. It's not the same rules as the land. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I haven't been on a promoter boat, but I'm trying to think.
That's good.
I really wish I had a better answer for you.
That's a strong credit. I think you should hold that credit.
I've never been on a promoter boat. If I've ever been on a boat, it's always like my personal friend or like a friend of a friend. It's not that. Yeah. But I honestly, I don't have that crazy of playpen stories. A couple weekends ago, they played my own song that I literally just sang to you on the boat. They made like a DJ remix of the song. If you look up Playpen Chicago, like it's somewhere on their profile. But yeah, they played my anthem like over the speakers on the boat. Yeah. That's
a good time.
Yeah.
Did you perform while it was going or no?
I mean, I definitely danced. I'm a big dancer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of dance? Like shuffling? What kind of dancing are you
nothing
doing?
like no like actual like
You're just
nameable
getting
dance.
crazy.
It's just kind of like a vibe.
Okay.
Like, yeah. whatever I'm feeling.
That's good. That's what dancing is. I mean, you see little babies that just hear music and all of a sudden they start moving.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I know that was my mom's nickname for me when I was a toddler was Party Girl Grace.
okay.
And I think I've lived up to it.
You were born for the playpen, is what you're telling me.
Maybe I was. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, what else? So like, okay, here's my question. We're back. In the DJ world, right? You're DJing and it's going well and you're creating a brand for yourself and you're making money and you're full time. But there comes a point where you say, okay, how do I level up? What's next, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you reach the goal of, I want to be able to pay all my bills from DJing.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, before you know it, you're doing that. And then you're like, most people go, oh, I got to start producing. I got to start making my own music. That's like the next step, right?
Oh, yeah.
What's sort of that next step for influencing? Maybe you're getting money, you're making these real short form content. Is like getting into the YouTube world sort of the next step, you think?
Not necessarily. Honestly, what immediately comes to mind is your own brand of clothing or something like that. I've seen a lot of influencers, obviously they're making a ton from the brand deals and the creator fund and everything. The next step for those creators would be starting their own separate business of sorts. Like, maybe they come out with like a lip gloss brand or a blush or make some sort of makeup or maybe a clothing brand or even starting their own podcast. That's a next step for a lot of influencers.
So that would kind of be the YouTube world that I was sort of alluding to.
But yeah, I guess it would be somehow further diversifying their income. Usually it's something with their own name on it, something that they can sell. Yeah.
So at this point, do you have anything in mind for yourself where you'd like to go? You going clothing brand? We know you're not making a vape.
Truthfully, okay, actually, I was asked this question the other day. Like, if I had to start my own clothing brand of sorts, what would I do? In an ideal world, it would be leather jackets. Okay. I love a really cool leather racer jacket. I hate faux leather. You will never catch me wearing a faux leather jacket, a faux leather, skirt, faux leather boots. Like, I am all for genuine leather. I just think you can sniff it. Faux leather looks so fake to me most of the time. So, I mean, I usually buy it secondhand as well. Like, I don't even mean to be like, oh yeah, I'm only buying brand new expensive leather jackets. No, I literally bought like an amazing $40 leather jacket off of eBay that I constantly get asked where it's from. I love buying secondhand. So I think I would come up with some sort of like really cool, unique leather jacket company. I love color, like as you can see, pink and green. So it'd probably be some like fun, colorful jackets with different patches or, patterns, whatever.
Okay.
I love Wilson leather jackets. I always look for those at the thrift or vintage shops.
That's cool. That'd be really cool. I mean, I don't really know anyone that just exclusively does leather jackets.
Yeah, I don't either. There's a lot of influencers that'll do like bikini brands or jewelry or makeup, but yeah, I haven't heard of leather jackets. Hopefully someone doesn't take that.
Yeah, hopefully someone doesn't steal it. So how do you, what's the first step to getting into that space? Would you be like cutting? Would you be at home cutting these, cutting leather and sewing them? What are you doing?
Okay, the leather jacket idea is extremely far off, but I will say a lot of brand influencers get into putting their name on products when a company approaches them and they're like, hey, like, we have this lip gloss we've been developing, but we want an influencer to put their name and face on it. Like, will you do it? Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times influencers will say yes to that. I believe, what's the kid from Stranger Things? The one with
the lisp?
No, not the one with the list. It was the one that like went missing and the upside down. Oh, Noah Schnapp. Yeah, I remember he had like some like Nutella company that like he put his like face and name to. And I mean, you even see it with like tequila companies. You see this with celebrities even. Like, so many tequila companies have their name associated with a celebrity, like Lobos, LeBron James. right? Yeah, that's it. Okay,
818, George Clooney had Casamigos.
Exactly. So this isn't even like exclusive to influencers, but so many different public figures will, sign up for a company to have their face and name on a product that I guess they get some percentage of. I have no idea how that works, but yeah.
Yeah. How do you protect yourself as an influencer from being taken advantage of by a company like I'm imagining there's a lot of agencies out there that will find young in the game influencers who they know that they could blow up but take most of their money.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories about influencers being taken advantage of by their management companies. Fortunately, that hasn't happened with mine. So, I mean, as long as you have good management, you should be protected. They'll look over all those legal contracts for you to make sure that, the brand isn't screwing you over in the language and the usage of, the assets you provide to them. I think if someone's looking to get signed with an agency, like you don't want to get screwed over by a management agency, just like reach out to other creators on their roster. Usually they have those available on their websites or their social media profiles and ask creators like what they think about their agency. Yeah. Most agencies, I think the industry standard is around 20%. That's at least mine is 20%. I don't know how different it becomes between different agencies, but
I got to imagine with some, negotiating power, whatever it may be, whatever your thing is that you're trying to get a lesser percentage of, you know what I'm saying? There's got to be some sort of negotiation, but
I haven't done that, but yeah, mine is like 80% of the brand deal is my money and then 20% goes to my management.
Yeah. So that's tight. I mean, a percentage deal has got to be the way to go because at the end of the day, then they're fighting to make you the most money possible because the more you make, the more they make.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I got to imagine that there's companies out there that are just giving a flat rate and that's how you get fucked.
Yeah. Oh, well, I've never even heard of like flat rate or charging hourly. Like I really think pretty much all agencies take a percent. I can't imagine it's anything else because I don't even know how it would work.
I mean, in the DJ world, there's local agencies that will try and so what happens is they'll go into a place, right? They'll go into a place that has DJs every night of the week, right? And they'll say, hey, let me book all of your DJs. I'll handle everything. You don't have to do any work. I'm taking the whole workload. I'll get their W-9s.
Yeah.
I'll do the taxes. You're getting DJs. You tell me when you need them, they're there.
Yeah.
Give me $125 for every hour that you need a DJ, and I will get you DJs. And then they'll go find what they like to do is find DJs that'll work for the lowest hourly rate, right? So they'll find a guy that'll work for $50 an hour.
Yeah.
They're making $75 an hour just off booking the DJs. That's like a huge, I like to call it a scam, but it's a business.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that there's people out there doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think there could be, one way I protect myself at least is that I very intentionally have my own email inbox. So when a brand emails me, it always comes to me first and I see it with my own eyes. A lot of creators and agencies, a lot of creators don't have access to their email at all, really. Like you might go to an influencer's bio on Instagram or TikTok, and then it says like some random person's name and then an agency as the domain. So odds are, I bet that influencer doesn't even see the emails that come inbound to them, which is like crazy to me. I mean, honestly, I think that's how it is with all of the biggest influencers. I'm definitely not at that level yet, but I can't imagine if I didn't have my eyes on my email all day, every day. And I forward the good ones to my manager and I flag, what I especially want them to look at as soon as possible. And I think that's a way of how I protect myself.
Yeah, that's tight.
Yeah.
I feel like, there needs to be better measures for people to understand what's going on in the space that they're trying to get into,
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
We're just out here trying to protect people at the end of the day, That's what we're here for.
Do you ever, have you ever thought about Are there any strategies DJs do to try and like promote their own business through their social media? Are there any like DJ influencers?
Oh, for
sure.
sure.
Are all DJs some kind of influencer? Because I think for the most part, every DJ I know, they're always posting their sets on their Instagram stories or their upcoming shows, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you can't thrive in the world today without being an influencer of sorts,
Yeah.
or at least trying your hardest to be. You have to be putting stuff out. When a club looks at your social media, they want to see that you're bringing some sort of value.
Yeah.
They want to see that you're posting stuff, that you have a brand that you care about, that, like, you know,
Yeah.
if you care, then you'll care about your work. You know, it's like hand in hand, but it does become fucking absolutely tiring. Like, there's got to be days when you wake up and you're just like, I don't want to look at my phone. I don't want to speak into my phone. I don't want to be on video. I don't feel bubbly. I just,
Yeah, when I'm hungover.
yeah, I mean, there's, you know, there's everyone's got those days.
For sure, especially when you're sick. You know, what's a struggle with being full-time is I'm really like creating my own schedule. And I feel like I saw a TikTok recently that's like, if you're a full-time influencer, you better be clocking into that app at like 9 a.m. and clocking out at 5. You know, you gotta, like, it takes a lot of discipline to force yourself to make that content, even on days when you really don't feel like getting up and out of bed and, you know, putting on some makeup or going somewhere to like film something interesting. Honestly, a lot of influencers like do well even just like posting videos of themselves like with no makeup, just like, you know, talking to the camera. That hasn't really been my niche. Like, I don't know, I don't yap that much like that, but yeah, it's amazing if you can find like a certain type of content for you that performs really well, that takes a lot less effort for you to create. That's the key. And that's also what helps a lot with, for me, doing talking to the camera videos, because those are so quick for me to edit and I don't have to go back and record a voiceover. I hate doing voiceovers. I try and avoid those whenever I can, which is kind of ironic because a lot of my content is with voiceovers, but I'm trying to get away from it.
But when you're doing a voiceover, are you specifically like recording to that video as the voiceover, or are you sometimes taking footage? Like, if you have footage of you sitting there talking to the camera, are you taking that audio and laying it over a different video? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, whenever I do like a voiceover video, I always just like take clips throughout the day. Then I upload all those clips to CapCut. I mute the audio on all those clips. Then I go and record my voiceover.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't have an editor. You're doing all of your own editing.
Yes, I do all my own editing.
Does a point come when you feel that you need to have someone who can edit for you so you have double the amount of time to film content?
Honestly, probably, yeah. Although I definitely haven't hit that. And I think actually a lot of the most successful influencers still don't have editors. Like, I think Alex Earl doesn't have an editor. I think she just like is amazing at grinding and pumping out the content. But no, like, there certainly comes a point where influencers, you know, they'll make the content, maybe they'll supply the voiceover, but they'll have an editor take care of that. But I'm definitely not at that level. And I like creating and editing my own content. I think it allows me to more freedom, more creative freedom. Plus, I've noticed if I ever like scroll back sometimes and look at my old videos, like, I notice how much better my editing has become over time. And that's it's unintentional. It just kind of happens when you keep doing something over and over again and you don't even realize how you're getting better at it.
Yeah, and then that feels good, right? You look at it and you're like, damn, I'm kind of raw now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I used to like, I was looking at like old vlogs I used to do where like my camera was just like so like jerky, or like I didn't hold it right and like the clip went by too fast. But like nowadays I know, like, I hold my phone with 2 hands and I move my body like this if I want a steady pan over of a restaurant or a club or something I'm looking at. There's like certain techniques to content that I've learned over time, like filming in 0.5 too, like where you can see more of the background around you. That's also like a good way to, you know, get people engaged to see the environment you're in. Yeah, different equipment, everyone has different like lighting systems. Like I've got my, my selfie light, I've got my various tripods. I have even for my Instagram photos, I've got my Canon G7X Mark II. I get that question a lot, what camera I use.
Diamond cut, you know about that?
It's pretty old, isn't it? No?
Oh, damn. You just
I
gonna
think
do it like that, bro? Come on.
It might be an old camera, but
No,
everyone's...
it's a great camera.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of my YouTube days, because I used to do some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That was like what everyone was
Yes.
That was the standard.
Those cameras are known for YouTube, but most recently, everyone's been loving them for Instagram photos. They make your photos so crisp and clear. Yeah.
That's tight.
Although when I shoot by myself, like out in public, I normally just use Lens Buddy, which is a self-timed photo camera app on my phone, because it's just a lot easier to get a ton of great photos like that by myself versus trying to set up the right settings on the Canon by myself.
Yeah, that makes sense. What are some of your favorite songs right now? You're like the perfect demographic of club goer.
That's interesting. Well, songs is hard.
Are you a Sabrina Carpenter girl? What's going on
Yeah, I like
here?
Sabrina. I like Please, Please, Please. I feel like I relate to that
that's
song.
That's my girlfriend's favorite shit. Which I don't know if I'm feeling that, because she's kind of talking shit about her boyfriend. I'm like, babe, we can't be.
No,
can't
she's
be
not
pumping this
talking
in the
shit.
crib.
Yeah. I love pop. For a long time I strictly listened to EDM, but kind of poppy EDM, like Zed, Martin Garrix, Kygo, David Guetta, all that poppy type of EDM. But more recently, I've been listening to like straight pop, like Olivia Rodrigo, Miley Cyrus. I love her most recent song, Psycho Killer.
Who's that, Miley?
Yeah, Miley.
I gotta check that out. Is it some shit I can play in the club, or is it like I'm gonna cry
Honestly,
on my way
maybe.
home?
Yeah, you could. I feel like people could get down with Psycho Killer.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I love a lot of pop. Yeah. You can't go wrong with Olivia or Sabrina in the club. You'll get like all the girls going.
Yeah. How about your throwbacks? This is like the toughest for a DJ that's my age. I'm 34. I'm like, I sort of had my glory days, and now I'm like rebranded and trying to hang on here. The throwbacks are the toughest, because I'll play some shit that like is a throwback to me, but that it goes over a 24-year-old's head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, a band that was actually my #1 on Spotify last year, which is honestly probably my favorite band, is ABBA.
That's definitely a throw.
I know that's super niche to me, but I mean, they're as famous as they are for a reason. I went to their hologram show in London. It was insane.
Really?
Yeah. So I think like if you play any ABBA, a lot of that music was in Mamma Mia. That's not even that old.
Yeah. No, ABBA's like not even throwback. ABBA's like classic.
Yeah. You know what's a good throwback song? Every Time We Touch. Cascada.
That's a big one.
I love that one.
But what's like, okay, it's 2024 and you're 24. So in 2010, what were you listening to?
Maybe like Promiscuous Girl.
Like Sean Kingston and all that. That's like,
or like
Bieber, all that shit.
Oh my
right?
gosh, play old Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
play like My World, Justin Bieber, My World, and My World 2.0. Those albums. Oh my god, you'll get all the girls in the club like hyped.
I got all that. That's all like the mainstream, but I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that niche. I'm looking for that like that banger that we all forgot about. Like the Biebers, he's never gonna go away.
Yeah. Ooh, that's hard. Something niche. I mean, to me, ABBA's niche.
I mean, yes, but no. It's kind of, it's so hot right now.
Yeah.
Like Gimme Gimme is one of the biggest songs you could play right now.
Yeah.
Especially with John Boy leading the way,
Hannah Montana.
sort of. Hannah Montana.
Yeah, play the best of both worlds. I think that would, I would get down.
You'd like that?
Yeah.
Call Me Maybe. I definitely ran at John Boy.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Oh my god. Actually a song I've been playing lately because of my Legally Blonde video. Perfect Day by Hoku. It's the beginning, literally the opening scene of Legally Blonde. The song is like, it's a perfect day.
Let me see. I'm gonna mark that one down.
Be my way. I don't know. Some
very like pop acoustic.
Yes.
Very, like what's the word? It's like the college. It's like the perfect college theme song for 2000s era movie.
Yes, Perfect Day by Hoku.
See?
I might be pronouncing the artist wrong.
Now
but
we're on to something.
yeah,
I like this.
that's a good one.
We got to where we wanted to be. I got
Yeah.
a song. I'm going to check it out. Hopefully I'll be able to work it in.
Yeah.
I want people to look at me like I used to be able to get that look from people of like, oh shit, I forgot about this one.
Yeah.
It's like hard for me to do that these days because I'm not, it's not my age
Yeah.
people out there anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not fucking 25 DJing out there anymore. So you gotta tap into the youngsters, you know?
That's true, for sure. Yeah. What's your favorite club to like DJ at? Do you do a lot of college bars?
No, not so much college bars. I mean, what's even a college bar these days?
Yeah, true.
Like DePaul, that whole
My God,
Lincoln
I've
Park
been to Joy
area.
like a couple times recently where it's like all of these like Northwestern kids having their formal there, or Shore Bar too. I was there in like
What's Shore Club?
Oh, yeah, Shore Club. I was mixing up Shore Bars in LA. I meant
Okay.
Shore Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shore Club, like I saw all these like college formals there recently. I mean, it was just the season back in May, but
I did DJ at Tao the Northwestern graduation night.
I think I was
actually.
there.
Were you on
Yeah,
Wednesday?
I remember my friends and I were there for our girlfriend's like birthday. It was like her 31st birthday. And of course, the night of her 31st birthday, it's literally all like 20-year-olds underage kids in the club.
Yeah.
I remember like us looking around like, where are the hot guys? And then it's like all of these babies around us.
That's crazy for you to call someone a
My
baby
friends
in the
were
club.
like betting me to like go up and ask how old they were. Yeah.
That's absolute mayhem.
21.
You know, it's like growing up like in like downtown Chicago, you start going out to bars and clubs like really young. Well, if that's what you're into and you want to go out like that. But I remember like when I was 16 years old, I got my first fake ID. I believe it was my sophomore year of high school. And then I think I went to my first like bar with my fake ID my junior year.
What was it? What bar?
It was LA Social.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I was
LA
probably
Social.
fucking DJing there.
Yeah, I
That's
loved it.
ridiculous.
And I remember I would like go and like I would tell like random people I would meet there like, "Oh yeah, I go to DePaul. I'm 18," because no one's going to kick out an 18-year-old. Like, I don't know, from my experience, but I don't know. I would say I went to DePaul and
16 in a fucking bar is wild.
Yeah, no, I like that was crazy when I did that, but hey, at least I'm of age now.
You made it, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the first like club you went to? If LA Social's a bar, what was the first
Club,
you hit?
probably well, these are bars, but McGee's Beaumont, Tobacco Road used to be insane in like
I
summer
DJ'd
of
there
2019.
a couple times.
I remember I went to Cuvée.
Cuvée.
I remember, yeah, Cuvée. I tried to go to Concrete Cowboy. No. I tried to go to Bottled Blonde. Bottled Blonde like took our IDs.
Stu,
I remember
that's-
Joy took my ID when I was underage.
When you go to town next time and you see Stu at the front door,
Yeah.
big Hispanic guy, good looking, slick back hair.
Yeah.
Tell him that he probably took your ID at Bottle Blonde. And
Yeah,
tell
he
him you want
probably
it back.
did. Yeah. I loved Concrete Cowboy too back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good time. That was a nice little era.
Yeah.
It's a nice little era.
I know that was like back then it was like the promoter era when that's how we would get into the clubs, but
Yeah,
yeah.
you weren't going on their boats, but you were getting
No.
you were at their tables.
yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was incredible. Thank you for coming through and hanging out and having fun. And you definitely bobbed and weaved and dodged a couple of my fun questions, but
Yeah.
we had a good time.
Yeah, we did.
This was great. I
Yeah.
feel like I learned a lot about influencing, and hopefully people that are curious will enjoy it as well. Is there
Thank
anything
you.
else you want to plug or talk about?
Not really. I mean, I guess I'll plug my social handles. You can follow me on Instagram. It's grace.andrews. And my TikTok is grace.andrews, but with 3 S's at the end. So
Someone already had that, huh?
I know. Yeah. Didn't get that one quite fast enough.
Diamond Cut will throw those up on the screen at the beginning for sure.
Okay, cool.
What's today? Today's Monday. are you partying this weekend? You coming out?
Yeah. I think I might be going to Devon on Friday.
The restaurant?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that's not a party, but like going there, I think, I'm going to an event at Tribune Tower, an 818 event, all white party on Sunday.
That'll be tight.
Yeah.
That'll be tight.
Saturday plans are kind of TBD right now. I tend to be a last minute plan girl, but yeah, that's what I have lined up so far.
All right. Well, we'll definitely be in touch. I'm going to Scottsdale on Saturday to play out there, but
yeah,
I'll be back and we'll be in touch and we'll
Where
do some
play
partying.
In Scottsdale?
We'll drink in the DJ booth one night.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm doing 50 Shades on Saturday. Have you ever been there? 50 Shades of Rosé, but they always change the concept. Like right now, it's a Miami theme thing.
Oh no!
And then
but June is Rosé month, isn't it? I've been getting a lot of like promo for that. Yeah, but. Awesome. Well, yeah. I know we do need I'm excited for the next time we go out and you see me and I see you and you actually remember me this time.
We'll have some shots. We'll have some good times.
Yeah, for sure.
Tight. I'll play what did I just download? Hookah?
Perfect Day.
Perfect Day. We'll drop Perfect Day.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be incredible.
Awesome. I'm excited. Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll see you guys next time. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like the video, drop a little comment, subscribe to the channel. Algorithm activating activity. That's what we like to see over here. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Peace.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a lie.